Hello and welcome to Watching Twin Peaks for the first time.
Nice.
That was good.
Do you ever do this? You want to make yourself
I put
louder?
my blinders on?
No. It's like you're yelling to somebody, but you don't yell here. You take your whole face so that your expressions are also big.
Hello.
It works.
Well, welcome everybody to Big Expression Town, and we are talking about
Twin Peaks.
One of our favorite shows,
I love
Twin
it.
Peaks.
Yes.
Mackenzie has never seen Twin Peaks.
Absolutely.
But she's getting deep into season 2.
Yeah.
I have watched Twin Peaks, but as I am discovering, I haven't seen season 2 since the 90s, like the early 90s, because I am remembering lots of new things, and it's like I completely forgot about things like Owl Cave and stuff like that.
Oh my gosh!
So
Owl Cave's crazy.
I think what happened is that I would show people Twin Peaks, and I'd sit and watch like the pilot episode.
Oh, yeah. And they wouldn't want to watch anymore.
Well, sometimes
because they didn't like it.
Oh, gee. It's like I relived the disappointment of that. It's like, yeah, that's what happened. They didn't like
but I'm here now.
I know. I'm glad. So I think that I would watch, the pilot a few times, and maybe the next episode, the first couple of things. But I don't think I've watched most of season 2.
Ooh, okay.
And so it's a pleasure to be returning to Twin Peaks, and today we are talking about Wounds and Scars. And this episode as well, On the Wings of Love. And so I have some photographs. And of course, we are getting Mackenzie's hot take. Mainly as we delve deeper into season 2, just kind of getting predictions as to what do you think is going to happen by the end of season 2. Yeah. So that's kind of what we're also interested in mysterious things like the giant and Bob and what's going to happen to some of these characters like Leo.
Most importantly, Nadine.
Yes.
That Nadine is the most important character, in my opinion.
Although, let's talk about what's happening with Nadine, because I didn't take any photographs, I don't think, of Nadine. But Nadine, in these episodes, she has partnered up with Mike. Yeah. And she. Oh my gosh,
this is a lot.
And so they stay. We're going to assume that Mike is 18.
Okay.
But he is in high school. She's enrolled in high school, which seems
very forgiving of the town.
Yes. Town is,
they don't like to wake up.
Town's working together.
They like to stay in a dream. I don't find it inspiring that they're working together about this.
They are putting blinders on.
Yeah. They're not there's nothing like town spirit about putting a 40-year-old woman back into high school.
So you do not approve.
No.
All right. So Nadine is sleeping with Mike and has basically told Ed and Norma that they can be together. Yeah. Ed is now trying to make it official with the divorce papers, but it's hard for her to understand that. And then there's the scene where she realizes that something's wrong with her eye.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that was like the last scene of the episode we watched. That's so sad. And it was funny because like the scene prior, I was like, it's surprising she's never like looked and like touched her eye and been like, wow, I can't see. That's crazy. When this get here?
All right. So, but Wounds and Scars starts off with there's a lot of wounded characters in this one. There's a lot of scars figuratively and also literally. And one of the most wounded people is
poor guy
is Harry Truman.
Harry.
And what do you think of the Harry Truman scene where he's shouting, he's very angry, but then they're
gives
hugging?
Him a hug. I don't know. Harry is kind of a weird guy. Like, like a woman who's like her husband. We don't know how he died. It looked a little bit suspicious. Yeah, he's with Josie, and he's the sheriff. So he investigated her husband's murder / disappearance. So you'd think that maybe he'd be like, probably gonna stay away from her. But no, he's not that. That's my hot take on Harry. He's kind of a fool.
He's kind of a fool. Well, I think
he's also.
I think one of the thieves also in a dream.
He wishes.
Do you think that this is going to all be a dream sequence?
No, it's not all a dream sequence, but I mean like a metaphorical dream.
Oh,
like,
gotcha.
Because everybody's just in this like dreamlike state.
They're in a dreamlike state. And they're not waking up to things.
Yeah, not like physically sleeping.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Just wanted to clarify.
Yeah.
All right. So speaking of scars, so these two, not Dale Cooper, but Major Briggs and the Log Lady, they have matching scars. What do you think's going on with that?
Oh, that's interesting. So they find the owl cave because of those. I'm just going to jump a little bit.
Sure.
But they have not matching scars, but like similar scars.
He's got like 3 triangles.
He's got like a little like basically hazmat kind
of thing. It reminded me of like a
warning.
Nuclear warning hazmat
watch
kind of
out.
warning thing.
It's going to hurt you. And then she has like a little mountain range.
Okay.
And then I don't know, like, okay, so he puts it on a napkin. He's like, I was just combining them. And I have no idea how he combined them because they don't look similar.
Yeah, he doesn't take the 3 triangles and just add them to that.
No.
He makes some diamonds.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it's confusing.
But
fair.
But it's Dale Cooper, so again
There's
he's working on intuition.
Yeah.
Right? He relied on the dream to help him solve Laura Palmer's mystery.
Which is fair.
Now we're getting
I like her.
Yes, so she has a scar on her wrist. So this is Annie.
That's right.
A new character. Just recently left the convent, and Dale Cooper seems instantly smitten with her. So what are your thoughts? What are your predictions?
So I like her. She seems cool. She's a little hesitant, and she's a little more grounded than everyone else in the town. And I think she is in danger of being hurt, and I wish Dale Cooper would tell her that. As, you know.
Yeah, because there's a madman hanging around Twin Peaks
people he loves,
who is looking to hurt Dale Cooper in the biggest possible way.
And not physically, emotionally. Yes. He wants to kill people Cooper likes.
And Dale knows that.
Yeah. Oh, God. Question.
Yes.
Is our boy, Bob, inside of that man right there? I'm pretty sure he might be.
So you think you're thinking more and more that Bob has possessed Dick Tremaine?
Yes. I think Bob's in Dick. Thank you. You can quote me on that one.
All right, so there's a lot of chaos that goes on with this. Yes. We gotta get these pins, right?
Yeah. Wait, we can put them on Redbubble.
I'm sure that people are already making them on Redbubble.
We gotta have one.
Either make one ourselves or find Ghostwood appeasal to save the weasel.
I love it.
So they're trying to save the weasel, but chaos ensues in a very funny sequence where Dick Tremaine is bitten by a weasel, and then Audrey falls into the arms of
I have a child!
Of Billy Zane's character. And are you rooting? Oh yeah, that's right, Jack.
I am rooting a little bit for Jack / Billy / I have a child.
Audrey's hunk.
I like him, but I'm also at the same time he's a little too much. I kind of like Dale Cooper a little more. I know that I was saying before,
but you know, it's actually fortunate that Audrey's falling out of love with Dale Cooper and into the arms of this guy because Dale Cooper is being stalked. There's Dale Cooper working on some. Yeah, so he goes from he's got those 3
triangles,
and I guess he's merging the triangles together to be diamonds.
Yes, kind of.
We'll look at the shapes later. What he gets.
Oh, also, I wanted to add. So they talk about the queen.
Yes.
He talks about I gotta pick a queen, and my predictions on who the queen shall be. Do we want those now? Or do we should we wait?
Let's wait, I guess, because we do have a queen card.
Yes. Okay, cool. Okay,
but let's talk about this. Let's talk about Windom Earle. So what are your thoughts on Windom Earle now as a villain character?
He's interesting. I still don't find him as interesting or as fun to follow as the mystery of the last...
Of Laura Palmer?
Yeah.
So
it's not as fun.
Figure out who killed...
Yeah.
So it's not as fun.
We know.
Because we're not wondering, gosh, who's the bad guy? Yeah. We know who the bad guy is.
We know exactly.
And we're basically seeing his schemes.
Also, this is the one character I can spot and know exactly who it is. I couldn't figure out who Shelley was, but every time Windom Earle's on, I'm like, that's Windom Earle.
Yes, so I love watching Mackenzie and talking to Mackenzie about Twin Peaks, in part because she can't tell all these Caucasians apart. She doesn't know
for my little
who
brain.
all these old white men are. She doesn't know. But Windom Earle, no matter what disguise he wears, he knows.
Windom Earle. That's Windom Earle.
She knows it's Windom Earle. So Windom Earle, do you have a favorite Windom Earle disguise? He's been the old doctor, ex-doctor, retired doctor character.
Yeah, that one's terrible. There's too much backstory.
He has been the truck driving character with the little hat. He's also been kind of the biker hippie guy that had the long hair and was eating the big hamburger. He's the guy in the library.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
He's got the pipe.
He's got the pipe. There's also the time that he goes into the lobby of the hotel.
Oh, that's right. And he's just like tourist. He's just got glasses.
He's just like him, but like fake mustache. Yes. And he walks in, and like Dale Cooper just like goes past him, and he turns around like, "I'm so smart."
Yes,
and
but you think it's just Dale Cooper didn't see it?
Yeah, Dale Cooper didn't like. I think if Dale Cooper would have seen him, he'd been like,
"Well, they're at the diner.
Oh,
they're at the diner, and
Shelley,
and yes, and he doesn't. I mean, Dale Cooper, when he looks up, Windom Earle's gone.
Yeah."
But I think if you looked up and saw Windom Earle in his costume, you go, "That's Windom Earle."
That's Windom Earle. He's just good at timing.
So
he's not good at costume.
Yeah. So there's something about Windom Earle.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the character or the actor, but he reminds me of the Wizard of Oz.
Yes.
The actor who plays Wizard of Oz is not only the Wizard of Oz character, but he's in it several times, right? So he's in it at the beginning as sort of the gypsy fortune teller guy.
Yeah.
And then he's in it later as the guard keeper.
Yes.
Then he's the guy that's doing the horse of a different color.
Yeah.
And then he's eventually the big powerful Wizard of Oz, and then he's the man behind the curtain Wizard of Oz.
Interesting.
And there's something about the mannerisms of Windom Earle and the Wizard of Oz.
And the general story of this part of
David Lynch, I think, loves the Wizard of Oz. There's a movie that we'll eventually watch called Wild at Heart.
Ooh.
And it has a lot of Wizard of Oz references, like direct references.
Yeah.
Anyway, enough tangents from me. So this lady delivers the box.
Oh yeah, she also is gross.
Yes, and then at the end of this episode, she gets into bed with the very drunken Harry Truman. What do you think's in the box?
I keep saying it's gonna be the little doorknob that has Josie's head on it. However, I'm not sure that it is going to be.
Gotcha.
That.
So that's your current prediction.
I would love it.
It will be the wooden doorknob that has Josie's head on it.
Yeah.
All right. Now we're getting into the next episode, On the Wings of Love, and there's a lot of lovey-dovey stuff that happens.
There's so much.
They end up going on kind of a date, or they meet each other at the at the bar.
Yeah.
That kind of by happenstance, right? He sees her at the bar, but they chat and they talk about the scar that she has, and so he's very much enchanted. Harry Truman here is.
What's he do?
Let's see. I thought I had.
What happens?
Oh, I don't have it. I thought I had a. Oh, there he is. There's
that's my favorite one. That one's my favorite just because he's like kind of creepy and gross.
Yeah, when he's staring at her while she's reading the poem.
And Audrey Horne is like, I don't need this, and she just walks away. And she's the best character because of that.
Yeah, just like I'm out of here.
Yeah, nah, I'm going.
Donna would say, he seems strange. I'm going to investigate.
Let me follow him into the woods.
Yeah.
Let me
now
go after him in his car. I'm okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so there's a lot of love in this episode. Love developing between Annie and Dale Cooper, and even Gordon Cole and Shelley.
I love this weird little subplot.
And so there's a lot of fun things happening. And let's get to what you wanted to talk about, the cards.
Yes.
And so we've got Queen Audrey, Queen Donna, Queen Shelley, and then he's basically Windom Earle's talking about the prize.
Yeah. before we talk about this, I think it is important to mention the scene where Audrey leaves. She goes, bye! And Ben Horne is eating a carrot, and I love that.
Oh, yeah.
I really like that scene. Yeah,
so
and
Ben Horne, now, do you...
he talks about
because he's been all through season 1 and most of season 2.
He's been a bad guy.
He's been a bad guy. Then he loses his mind for a while.
Yeah.
Now he's back. So do you genuinely believe that he's a good guy? Do you think it's going to be temporary? Does he have a scheme involved the way Catherine had a scheme involved?
I genuinely think he is good. Because of the vegetables and because he's actually reaching out to his daughter. And I really liked that scene. He's like, he tells her about one of the presidents who brought his brother into the White House. And he's like,
Kennedy.
I know that I'm bad. And you don't have to forgive me yet. I'm going to make it up to you. I'm going to be the person I want to be, kind of thing. And I really liked that speech. Okay. That was awesome. I also loved how they were like, yeah, you got to tell me when I'm crazy. And the brother outside is just like, just yelling and shooting little dart arrows. And he's 27 and nobody's like, can we get this kid some more help? It's just like, yeah, that's what he does.
They have Jacoby stop by to see how Johnny's doing every once in a while.
But like also Dr. Jacoby just was like, yeah, this is good. He should when Ben Horne was in the little like he's like, I'm in the Civil War. The doctor was yeah, this is good. I'm about this. Yeah, keep going. They kind of just want people to stay in a dreamlike state in this town. Like they don't care because they're also in a dreamlike state. Dr. Jacoby thinks that the world outside of him is just like this, I don't know, like it's like scary, but at the same time he's enjoying the chaos. That's the vibe Dr. Jacoby gives me.
Gotcha.
And so I think he's just like, yeah, this is what's
who's
good.
The so let's clarify this idea. The many characters sort of like are in sort of a dream or their own version of reality.
Right.
Bubble, like a dream bubble or
dream
whatever.
Bubble, yeah.
And is that something that is, do you see it because you're talking about with Nadine, how everybody's like in the dream bubble.
Yeah, nobody cares.
So is it something that is mostly negative? Or is it something where it's like, oh no, that's a legitimate coping mechanism, and if you need to be in a dream bubble, be in a dream bubble?
I think it is good for some of the people. So like, the thing about it is they talk, like the one that's acceptable that I would say is like, okay, this is kind of good. The log lady, she's been through a lot of traumatic incidences. I don't know if that's how you say it, but she's been through a lot.
Yes.
And she's just like, yeah, this is what I'm going to do. And I'm still going to be a functioning member of society. And people have just been like, neat. That's pretty cool.
So they're dreamlike in the sense they were like, yep, she's got a log that she talks to it.
That's cool.
It's like, we don't hear it, but that's fine. That we're not going to try to take away the log from her.
Yeah.
So there's a level of accepting of it, but it's also...
But how far can it go?
Because we talked about how with Laura, people were just like oblivious, like they should have seen the warning signs, but they had these dream bubble blinders on.
Yeah.
So who's the most grounded character, or the most reality-based character that you can think of on the show? Hawk. I think that's a good answer. And what's interesting is that he might speak in metaphoric ways that, you know, in some ways they're just kind of fulfilling the trope of Native American characters. But then sometimes he drops things like, oh yeah, my girlfriend's a PhD, you know. Or he'll use Irish phrases. He'll use like Irish traditional phrases.
I still always think back to his quote where it's like, all that I know is that she's in the ground. And I love that.
That's very, very
I love that.
Down to
it's very grounded.
So you're skirting the issue though.
I know.
Who do you think is going to be chosen queen by the end of this season? Or do you think that's not even going to, do you think this is a red herring? Do you think it's not even going to get, do you think it's not even going to get there?
I think that we are going to know the queen, but I don't know that the queen is going to die.
All right. And who do you think the queen will be?
I think the queen will be Shelley.
I think the queen
and I'm going based off of that on intuition. Also, she's very excited for the pageant. Also, she stepped on a red square.
That's right. You pay close attention to the potential symbolism of the actions. And do you remember the poem is written by whom?
It's Shelley something.
Percy Shelley.
Percy Shelley.
Shelley.
So it would make sense for it to be Shelley. Although they might just throw it in my face and make it Audrey, and she's on a plane somewhere else.
That's true. And Windom Earle will be like, "Darn it! I thought I."
Oh no, he's driving the plane.
Yeah. Also, Windom Earle is partnered up with Leo.
Yes.
And
Leo might influence his effect. Because
do you think Leo's going to want Shelley to be there or not be there?
I think so. I think Leo, Leo's not all there.
Leo's damaged.
Leo is damaged. Leo is small.
Yeah.
So Leo's not all there, but I think that part of Windom Earle really likes Leo. He's like really about it. So I feel like Leo is going to affect Windom Earle in ways that we can't hear or see. You know what I mean?
Oh, I see.
Like he's gonna a little bias.
Gotcha.
Towards Shelley. Because when he put the card down, Leo was like, "Ooh, that's my wife."
And speaking of affecting things without knowing that you're doing it, so we haven't talked about Andy. Andy is preparing to go. How do you pronounce it? Spelunking. Spelunking. Yeah, he's called it spelunking. And so they go into Owl Cave, and he kind of stumbles around an owl cave.
I love it.
And they're looking for things.
Yeah.
But then Andy busts when they're trying to get the owl, or he swings his pickaxe at the owl, and that causes this diamond shape to fall out, and this kind of strange handle with the
little owl symbol. It looks
symbol on there, a little rune or something. Yeah. And Dale Cooper is kind of excited about it. He says something strange and wonderful is going to happen.
I don't know what.
And then Windom Earle, at the end of the episode, he finds it and he turns the symbol upside down. Yeah. And looks like there's an avalanche. Yeah. So what do you think is going to happen?
You know what I'd love to happen that is not going to, but I'm going to put it out there anyways. When he turns it upside down, there's an avalanche, and he's just crushed. And they come in next day and they're like, "Oh no! It's Windom Earle's body."
I would love that if only it's like, "Oh no, it's Professor Plum from the library. He's dead."
And everybody goes to the funeral.
They bury him as Professor Plum or whatever his name is.
So good.
And it's like, we're still looking for Windom Earle.
Yeah.
It's hard to look for Windom Earle when we've got Professor died, this ex-doctor died.
Oh no. Man, I don't know where all these people went.
They're all in one coffin.
But I do think in more serious along the term, I think that it's going to open up or affect the White. What is it? The White House?
The White Lodge.
The White Lodge, and it's also going to affect the Black Lodge in some way. That is my prediction about this.
So it's going to affect the White Lodge.
It's either going
to
open them or release. I also feel like the dreamlike state might be coming from the White/Black Lodge. I feel like I can't ignore it anymore. Like there's probably a little crunchy business coming from the, I don't know what that is, but
crunchy business. Something hinky is going on.
Something smells.
All right, so
fishy.
some of the weird sort of strange dream things that we've seen, the dancing man and Bob and the giant.
Yeah.
You think they are coming from the Black and or White Lodge?
Yes, but I know Major Briggs is like, there's the White Lodge and the Black Lodge. When they're out in the woods, they're talking about that. It's like, I got to tell you more about this place.
First, I'm going to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. Okay. And then, Bob, I think, also talks about it. But I can't remember what he says, so I don't know. Bonk.
All right.
Anyways.
That's where we need to, check our cliff notes. So.
We got to take notes next time.
All right, so we're excited to see what happens from the events from the cave. What happens with Windom Earle? What happens with the Queen?
Yeah.
And will Gordon Cole hook up with Shelley?
Oh my goodness.
Who knows what's going to happen?
Although I might want to add, Andy once again, he's bringing up some valuable evidence that I feel like he should not know about. And that it should not always be him. It's always Andy.
Well, doesn't
I know that's like the it's quirky and fun because Andy doesn't know anything, but is he running off of intuition? Is that what I'm supposed to be getting?
There's a character type, like an archetype that I remember it being called like the Zen Fool, where this kind of foolish character is actually not necessarily wise, but is somehow through his own foolishness.
Yeah. Like a Buster Keaton-like character.
Yeah, kind of discovering things. So tripping on something, like that's how he finds Leo's shoes, right? When he gets the board, right? Yeah. So those kind of stumbling into discoveries,
kind of thing.
In some cases, yeah.
All right. Well. Oh no! Better one is Jar Jar Binks.
Yes, Jar Jar Binks is probably a good example of the Sith Lord Zen Fool.
See?
All right.
People who think Andy are bad.
Yes, the people that know that Jar Jar is a Sith Lord also know something is wrong with Andy.
All right.
All right. Bye, everybody.